is just fantastic. Captain's log, subdate 200106.9. After we dropped the napalm around the residence of the architect, their local government reached out to us to thank us for helping them annex that region of land. I see they're glass half full types of people. I approve. Welcome everyone to the Halls of Injustice. Today's inmate goes by the name of Yousef Woolcock, and he has quite an interesting story. Before that, I shall be streaming on Twitch tonight some either murder fun time or fishing. If you're at all interested in a casual chit-chat and some video gaming, please consider swinging by, giving me a follow. I would greatly appreciate it. Link to my Twitch is in the description down below. Yousef Woolcock was a very enterprising entrepreneur that ran a business with others in a thing called a gang. This business was, much like many, very much sales-oriented. I'm sure they had targets and KPIs to operate towards, and maintained their core customer base by ensuring that they sold a product that was truly addictive, something people couldn't help but come back for more, and if they ran out of money, they would sell everything they own, because they really wanted this. I am, of course, talking about the very thing I will ban when elected, Haribo. And by Haribo I mean cocaine. This particular business operated between August of 2018 and finished, or shut up doors, closed doors, ended, ceased, in July of 2019. The gang had a rather elaborate method for delivering the Haribo, as I shall now call it henceforth, from a place called Barry to various Haribo distributors in South Wales valleys, including places I will never be able to pronounce. That's not even a joke. Based on these names alone, I'd end up spitting into my pop filter. I'm not doing that. Yousef Woolcock sold two products. One was Haribo. The other I'm going to call Jelly Babies. Now, these Jelly Babies are of the type you use a syringe to get into your system, and much like Haribo, incredibly addictive. And between August of 2018 and July of 2019, Yousef Woolcock sold around 18 kilograms of Haribo and Jelly Babies. He would do this by contacting his distributors and customer base through a mobile phone known as the Barry line. Yousef Woolcock was finally apprehended when CCTV caught him topping up the Barry line. Thank the Lord for CCTV, am I right? Do I need my sarcasm sign for that? Yousef Woolcock was arrested after an investigation or an operation more commonly known as Blue Pearl, and during a 12-month operation, £64,000 worth of Class A confectionery, yes, over £12,000 in cash, some sharp pointy things, a zappy zap zap thing, and some hammers were seized by officers. Here is a picture of some of the offending material. As you can see, yes, they are old £20 notes, but they're still in circulation for now. It's also interesting to note that Yousef Woolcock also continued on his enterprise while he was in the Cardiff prison in November 2018. During a random body search, officers discovered 3 packages of Jelly Babies worth between £2,500 and £5,000 hidden in his booty. It is believed that those particular confectionaries would have been then distributed to dealers and users in the prison. And in December of 2019, he was convicted for 2 counts for conspiring to supply Class A sweets and possessing Jelly Babies with the intent to supply at Cardiff Crown Court. But obviously, this isn't where the story ends, and he wasn't exactly in there too long because he carried on when he was released. Others involved in this gang were also caught and sentenced for being sweet runners. I'm hoping that when people watch this on playback, they understand that by sweet, I don't mean sweet, and they also remember which one is Haribo and which one is Jelly Babies. Yeah, this is how low we've sunk, people. When Operation Blue Pearl and that particular investigation went to trial, Prosecutor Gareth Jones said that between August the 9th and the 3rd of January, the mobile phone, the Barry line, contained 57,850 phone numbers and had made 21,000 calls, of which 18,271 were 30 seconds or less. It had been used to send thousands of text messages to runners, with instructions and plans for sweets to be dropped off. It should be pointed out, though, while they were doing that, the phone actually was being traced and monitored by the South Wales Police, which was because of Operation Blue Pearl. Defending Yousef Woolcock, Christopher Rees said that the father of 3 had been battling Jelly Baby addiction since the age of 21, and that Yousef Woolcock was remorseful, and that his defendant did not live a lavish lifestyle. The other guy that I mentioned who was convicted, his name is Frank Skinner. His defender, Adam Sharp, told the court that he was a carer for his partner of 15 years who suffers from fibromyalgia and has a 6-year-old son, and that he was also a Jelly Baby addict who had managed his addiction with something called methadone, but had ended up relapsing back into Jelly Babies when the prescription was stopped. Yousef Woolcock pled guilty, and because of that got a slightly reduced sentence. His sentence was originally 20 years, reduced to 15 and 2 years and 6 months for possessing Haribo while in prison, so 17 years and 6 months, of which he will serve half of it. Skinner was sentenced to 5 years and 3 months for conspiracy to supply Jelly Babies and crack Haribo. But there's a twist to this particular story, which is why I like it so much. The twist is that under the Proceeds of Crime Act, which is a powerful piece of legislation, Yousef Woolcock, he's going to have to pay back £600,000, which is what is estimated to be what he earned during that year. Even if it takes him the rest of his life, he will have to hand over any significant amounts of money he makes after his essentially 9-year prison sentence. This is a whole of life payback plan, which was dealt with at a Proceeds of Crime hearing in Cardiff a few weeks ago, long after he was put in prison. So I'm sure he found out about this and was like, oh bugger, I may as well stay in here then. Obviously that £600,000 has been diminished a little by what they seized, but if he's given any valuable assets, by way of inheritance, gift, lottery win, the police can seize it all. The argument now is that because of this, it is a sign that crime does not pay. Until he pays back what he has now taken, he can't own a house or a car, because specially trained officers will confiscate it. I also want to add to this, no, it doesn't mean his wife has to pay it back, but I'm sure many people believe she should because she was married to him. After being sentenced, Sergeant Tim Jones of the South Wales Police said that long gone are the days when criminals will serve their time behind bars only to return to benefit from a lifestyle of luxury funded by their criminal past. And he's right in this case, because Yousef's kinda screwed. If he gets an honest job, he'll have enough to live on, because that's what they'll do. As long as his bills are paid for, a living allowance if you will, everything else after tax goes on this. And it's going to take a while to pay. And I'm okay with this. With the sentence, with the case, I'd love to know what you think. Also, if you love Haribo and Jelly Babies, I'm very sorry for using them in a very particular context, but I think you get the point. Please do let me know what you think about this case in the comments down below. If I don't see you on Twitch, have a fantastic Tuesday, and thank you all for listening.